Hello everyone, this is a lesson on how to use the Auto TDC. This is not a lesson on how to use a Manual TDC. You'll actually have to go to somebody that's a lot smarter than me to learn how to use that. Alright, so here we are. I am in the nav map and I have found my target. It's a merchant ship, and the merchant ship is red and I am blue. What I will be doing here is setting up my position for I'm at a 90-degree angle to attack the merchant ship. What I'm doing is I'm using the pencil and I'm marking the position of the merchant ship, and then I am using time compression for a little while and I'm marking it again for a second time. Then I use the ruler on the map tools and I line both X's up in the ruler, and now what I have here is the heading of the ship. So now I can intercept the target, for I can know where he is at any given time, and I can set up a 90-degree angle of attack on him. Alrighty, I'm fast forwarding here, and I'm using time compression. And when you want to intercept him, you can actually go to flank speed to actually intercept him. Now what I'm going to do is I want to be at a certain distance to him for I can intercept him. So I've actually changed my course. For if you can look the lines, you can tell I'm at a 90-degree angle. I'm using the ruler tool, which is also a measuring tool, if we can measure distance, to find out where I want to be when I want to actually attack him. So I'm making it right now, and I believe I set it. It's going to be set around 950 meters. It's hard to read, but I can barely read it now. And what I'm going to do is that end line I just made, where my pointer is, I'm going to use time compression, and I'm going to get there. Then I'm going to actually go all stop. So now I'm in a perfect attack position at the range that I want to be at, and I'm just waiting for the enemy merchant ship to show up. You can use time compression to make it quicker. You just watch your sonar view of him. Now here I'm in my attack periscope, and what we have here is, coming from my attack periscope, we have three numbers. They're the little white circles. They say 1, 2, and 3 in it. What those numbers represent are where your torpedo will be at any given time. And as you can tell, when I move my periscope around, the numbers move around too. So when you actually put the periscope on the merchant ship and lock it up with the spacebar, now he has some numbers showing up. Now all these numbers mean, this is Auto TDC again, is that when you match up the 3 with the 3 on the merchant ship, you'll hit the target. If you match up the 2 with the 2 on the merchant ship, you'll hit the target. And when you match up the 1 with the 1 on the merchant ship, you'll hit the target. Now obviously the 3 is for the furthest out, the 2 is for the closer in shots, and 1 is for the extreme close in shots. If you change the speed of the game of the torpedoes, that's in the upper left hand corner. There's a little speed dial. You see the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5, and the fire button, the red fire button. Well, to the left of the fire button is the speed control. If you change the speed, the numbers will change for the torpedoes. These are the steam torpedoes, so they do have a speed setting. The electric torpedoes do not have speed, so it doesn't matter. So what I'm doing here is I'm getting my number 3 of my periscope view to intercept the number 3 of the enemy merchant ship, and I had to add some speed here to get the number 3 actually there. Now when I play, I actually do what I call connecting the dots, and that means I'm going to have the number 3 of my periscope view line hit the number 3 of the enemy line. But I've been told that you can actually have the number 3 of the merchant ship actually go anywhere in between the number 3 and the 2, and it will still hit of your periscope. And the same thing for the number 2. The number 2 of the merchant can go in between the number 2 and 1 of your Periscope vote, and you'll still hit. And it's the same as number 1, in between number 1 and your ship, actually. Now, if you look closely, I have my Periscope set to 0 degrees, and I'm waiting for the number 3 of the merchant ship's numbers to hit my number 3 at 0 degrees. This will make sure that you actually have a perfect 90-degree shot at the merchant ship, and the torpedoes will hit at 90 degrees. As you can see, they're there now, so I'm going to start firing. I'm going to fire all 4 of my torpedoes. I'm going to give about 2 seconds in between each shot. And they're off. Again, you might have to set your speed setting to actually have the number 3 intercept the 3 of the merchant. If it matters what distance you're at, that your 3 matches up with the number 3 of the merchant. I fired. Now I'm out of my ship, and I'm going to watch the torpedoes hit. Again, this method I'm using right now, it's not the method you have to use, but it's always best to attack a merchant ship at 90 degrees. I don't know if they put the kind of duds in that they had in the war. The Germans and the Americans both suffered that if the torpedoes didn't hit at a perfect 90 degrees, that they wouldn't go off. And it was something that plagued the Germans in the early war extremely bad with dud torpedoes. And I fired all 4 torpedoes because of duds. As you can tell, all of them are going to hit, so it was a very good fire solution. As you can tell, it works very well. You can actually set up, you can actually hit with the Auto TDC the merchant at really any angle you want, as long as the numbers match up like I already explained. So if you're at some 45-degree angle and you fire, the torpedoes will actually change course to do because that's what the German torpedoes did, to lock onto the target and hit it. You can do it at any angle you want. It's just a 90-degree angle is probably the easiest, and it also gets you set up to do actually manual targeting if that's something you want to get into. And that's it. The merchant ship's hit, and I'm coming up to celebrate the merchant ship being hit. So that's what it is. That's how the connect the dots work. You can either just connect the dots, the numbers with your number 3 with the merchant number 3, and you'll hit it every time. Okay, guys? Or the number 2 with the number 2, or the number 1 with the number 1. Again, it has to do with distance, the closer you are, and what speed setting you actually have set. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Bye.